Okay, so it's September 1st. Have been having a lot of shaking around like 45 miles an hour. So I was, you know, like, okay, it's gonna be my torque converter. I put some of that lube guard anti-shutter stuff in, and it cured the problem for like 3 days, which verified that my torque converter was screwed. And sure enough, a week later, you know, it got gradually worse after 3 days and then came back. So pulled a transmission at the junkyard with a almost brand new, it was like lightly used Pro King torque converter. And I came back with transmission and torque converter and took my transmission out, pulled the torque converter out. That's it here. And it's original. And it sounds like crap when you shake it around. So that was definitely the issue. Looking at the Accord, if I had any tips for when you pull the transmissions on these, there's bolts that run around, you know, like the bell housing area, which is normal. You have to have the starter off because the starter bolts go in there too. But so there's 3 bolts on the motor mount on the back. 1 bolt goes to the motor, you don't want to remove. The other 3 go to the transmission. Now here's where things get interesting. There is a bolt. Let's see if I can kind of set this up a little bit. So if you see that little welded on nut right there, that's the part of the mount that actually goes to the engine. There's a little triangle piece right here, like right there, that mounts to. That's the one you don't remove. However, I don't know if this is for all Accords, but it was definitely for this one. This is a 94 Honda Accord station wagon. It's a LX model. So if you're underneath the car, on the opposite side of this, if you look at the oil filter about 6 inches towards this side, towards where the transmission mates to the engine, is a bolt that's hidden in the curve of the block, and it points this way and threads into the transmission from the back. I removed every bolt and everything attaching this transmission to this car in the motor and could not for the life of me get it off of there, and that's what I was missing. So if you're under here, and here's your oil filter, if you look over here, there's the support bracket that goes from the intake manifold to the block. You'll have to remove that to get to it. It is literally, it's like behind that support bracket's right there, and that tucked in that corner. That's the hidden bolt. It literally goes straight through and into the transmission. It's hiding right, not this one, but right there. You can see it right here. And that tucked in that corner, that's the hidden secret little bolt for the transmission right there on the left. When you do your torque converter, there's a little O-ring that goes in a groove here. Looks like this. You replace that when you change it. While I was in there, I changed the rear main seal as well. Found out you don't really need a tool for it. I was gonna get some PVC pipe to do it, but I just took the old seal, since it's hard as shit, and turned it over on the opposite side and tapped it with a rubber mallet all the way around and seated it just fine. So something that seems to be a common issue, every one of them I run into at the junkyard has this issue, and I seriously have this issue, is my ground cable is screwed. So you ever have problems starting your Accord? This is probably why. That's what my ground cable looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a heavy-duty ground cable made to replace this, because every one I run across is like this. So I won't be doing this used, I'll be buying this one.